it started. I don't know what you did. Now I'm the gal that's chasing you up. Flip my lid. Come here, eager beaver, baby.
Hello and welcome to
Was That an Orgy? Woo!
starring Charlene and Teresa Bawd, two sisters that explore the topics of sex, sexuality, gender, and sex positivity. We will also try to answer the question, was that an orgy?
Turn that
God,
shit off,
yeah.
bitch. Oh my God. Hi, everybody. We're live at 5.
Hi,
Whoa. Ooh. I'm a little nervous today, Shar.
Me too. I think we might offend some people. I think our own mother might turn off.
Mom, we don't blame you if you turn off the show today.
Today might be the day that you have to tap out.
I don't think Mom has probably seen the Aristocrats, the movie.
No.
I made
I
a
don't think
post that's kind of explaining to everybody this put the horror and horrible idea I had last night. Pardon me. Sorry. To get through the discomfort of this show, we're drinking hard seltzer.
Yeah.
So we might be wasted by the end of this, but don't worry. We'll go to a nearby bar to sober up, Mom.
And we'll eat really greasy food. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Lots of grease.
These are pretty low alcohol, only 4.7%.
Oh my
So
God.
we
Check.
won't get too-
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this joke is horrible. First, can I just tell you a dream I had about you the other night?
Oh,
It was
please
so weird.
do.
So-
Are we going to need to clean up on
And
Isle
this is
Shar?
this is pretty typical of my dreams. You and I are hanging out with Will Smith and Jada Pinkett Smith, of course,
Oh,
because that's just what we
interesting.
do, right? Okay.
Of course.
And so I'm like, so you say, Shar, I don't even know how you hit on guys all the time. Like, how do you do this? And I'm like, Teresa, let me show you how to hit on guys. And I was like, first, you stick your hand in your pussy. You get a whole bunch of pussy juice. And then I'm doing this to you in my dream. And then you draw glasses on his face with your pussy juice. And then you say, you're pretty, and give him a really light kiss on the lips. And you're just like, really? That's what you do? And I'm like, I swear it works. And then Jada says, but have you done the turtle? And I'm like, what? The turtle? And I'm imagining, and then I woke up, of course, but in my mind, I think what I was going to do with the turtle was that she was going to drop trow and then use her pussy lips to talk to men,
Like
to
I
pick them
do.
up. Like you do. Yeah.
Yes.
To say,
Yes.
hey there, how's it going?
Yeah.
I miss pussy.
Yeah. But by the way, I have done this for years. I have tormented so many boyfriends, but I call it the ventriloquist. And once I was telling one of my friends about it. I was over at my friend Michelle's house. And I was telling her about the ventriloquist, and she thought it was so hilarious. And she's like an artsy, fartsy, crafty gal. So she happened to have stick-on Google eyes. And then we were both wearing skirts and like sluts. We weren't wearing underwear. And so we put Google eyes like above our pubic hair and started like talking. We're cracking up. And then did like a photo shoot that we could probably be blackmailed with to this day. But yeah, the ventriloquist. I've stood over many a boyfriend in bed and just been like, Oh, I called it, sometimes I would do cocky monster voice, pussy need cocky, nom nom nom, what need cocky now, nom nom nom. Once I did that to Jason, I started out as pruntang, so I had the wig on.
So that's already sexy.
Already R.I.P. is boner forever.
Yeah, totally.
And so I had on the pruntang wig and the pruntang glasses. And for those of you who don't know, she's my old lady character. She's real horny. Oh, she likes to get it on. Oh, yeah. And so I came into the bedroom and I like jumped up on the bed and I was like, oh, yeah, you want some of this fetid ham wine. Oh, yeah. And I ripped off the diaper and started cocky monstering him. Ventriloquist style. And he's game for everything all the time, but he literally put his hands up and he was like, no, Teresa, no, like, stop, why do you want to do this to me? I'll never get a boner again. Which of course just fed me, I had to do it more, Don't you want this? Poke, poke, poke.
Yeah, if someone wants us to not do a thing, they basically have to ignore it the first time we do it.
Ignore the bad behavior.
And we will just be like, oh, well, that didn't get a reaction. And we stop. That's it.
Totally.
Our parents figured that out eventually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I know. Well, you know what I love? I think it contributed to who we are. Is I remember in San Diego, I'm going to belch a lot in this. Pardon me.
Hard seltzer.
Seltzer does it every time.
Yeah.
So when we were on the naval base in San Diego, I remember Dad, when we would say a naughty word, like we had that book that we like to animate where it was Katie cleans her room. And we get to that picture of the mom going, ooh, and we would all say, I farted. Yeah. And then Dad would be like, all right, that's it, girls. You both get in the corner and say fart 100 times. Yeah. So we'd be in the corner. Fart, 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 fart. Perfecting the art of cussing. Yeah. Of farting too. That's our family's original joke too, is farting. It's like to this day, I still can't help but pull the finger. Pull my finger, kid. Yeah. And every time I'd be like, what if this is the one time he's got a lollipop in his back pocket and I don't pull his finger? But every time,
I'm like, what if this is the one time he sharts and I can have the last laugh? So I pull.
Right?
Do it, Dad. Do it, Sharp.
I don't know. Dad would probably Dirty Sanchez you with it. I mean, not with his dick, but I think that's part of where we get the gross gene too.
You would Dirty Sanchez me. You would be the one who would be swiping
Dirty Sanchez. I did go through my wipe a booger on you phase.
Oh, so. God, did you? Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You were a big time booger wiper.
I was.
Testing
I
those
want
boundaries.
attention. Yeah. I want attention, but I have low self-esteem. Booger. I know. I did that until the day Mom wiped a booger back on me. Yeah.
Oh, she wiped a big,
which Mom was the right thing to do.
Gruesome one. No, it was a big snarly.
It had a little slimy slug trail. I'm not gonna lie. Like, ooh. Yeah, but then that was the end of my booger wiping days.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
That does work. Yeah.
Speaking of influences on us too, I'm wearing Grandma's shawl.
Oh,
yeah. Yes, our beloved artist matriarch Grandma. She passed over the Rainbow Bridge. Here's to you, Grandma. Chug-a-lug, chug-a-lug.
Grandma Dootsy.
Mm-hmm. It's a Dootsy. And I think she had something to do with us being freakophiles like we are too, because there was nothing I ever said to her that was too gross. She would just say with her little Cape Cod accent, "You were so funny, dear." She would say, so great. I could tell her the grossest stories, like about walking around in the dildo procession at Burning Man. Yeah. And she was like, "What's a dildo?"
Yeah.
And I was like, well, they were these beautiful hand-carved Indonesian strap-ons,
Oh, I remember that. I remember you telling her
that. Yeah. And then somehow Grandpa walks in later and she was like, oh, you should hear these stories from Burning Man. I'm making her sound like Edith Bunker.
You are totally.
But I slipped into Edith Bunker there. But yeah, I remember somehow she was just saying, you should hear these stories of Teresa at Burning Man. And she was in a dildo procession, and Grandma's like, oh, what's a dildo? It's a beautiful hand-carved penis from Indonesia, and you wear it with a belt. And she's just so open-minded. Yeah. Maybe it's all being an artist and all the years of painting, drawing nudes, but also, I don't know, she just has she had that artist predisposition that, before she started Catholicistically breeding.
Yes,
to her heart and her vagina's content.
Well, yeah, and that's just testament to their horniness too.
Yes, which reminds me, what I was wishing we had for today was Grandma's neck massager. Do you know where that ever ended up?
I think I might have it in a box.
Okay,
in a box of my old toys. I remember I got that in the box. It's a vibrator, to go inside your vagina,
right?
Essentially,
right.
But a woman on the outside of the packaging is using it on her neck, and I'm like
early '60s, late '50s. It's just basically like a plastic, reamsicle dong in a box, showing her the '50s Betty Crotcher, massaging her neck with it. Yeah. Somehow someone tried to give it to me, and I was like, I got too much shit and moved too often. So I think, maybe you inherited it.
I remember having it at the house on Atlantic. So it's
Okay.
got to be in a box somewhere.
It's in your shit
I
somewhere.
got it somewhere.
It's in your shit right now. I just know it.
It's
Oh, my neck is so relaxed. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're going to get back to why we're so nervous today.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we all know that humor, comedy, creativity often, sex often, rides a very uncomfortable sort of line between what's expected and what's unexpected, what's okay, what's not okay, what's repulsive, and what's funny. And that it's as someone who does comedy, you have to take risks.
Yeah.
And one of the major risks you have to take is that you are going to offend someone. There is a good chance you're going to offend someone. There's a great chance that we will offend a lot of people tonight because of what we're going to tackle.
Well, and don't you think we should like interject just that part of it real quick and then like get philosophical? Because it started with you saying like, you know, okay, for the next one, let's just improvise. Yeah. And so then you thought to call it like, you know, the Aristocrats. Yeah. Because that's like the most world infamous joke that's done. Usually, well, they say it's improvised. It can be. Yeah. I think a lot of people wrote and perfected the art of telling like what they hope to be the most offensive, grotesque joke ever. That's kind of the goal of the joke. Yeah. And then they made that movie about it. It was the guy. Who are the two magicians?
Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I think it was the big loud one. I don't remember if it's Penn or Teller.
Oh, God, I can't remember.
But anyway, he had the idea like, let's make a documentary about this because so many people, like maybe it was 80s or early 90s, whenever the movie was made. I just saw it the night before last and I don't remember, but they decided they would make a documentary about it and interview all these comedians that tell that joke. Yeah. And have little snippets of the sections of the joke in the movie. Yeah. And it is the whole point of it is shock value. And again, the idea is make it as gross as humanly possible, as offensive and grotesque as humanly possible.
That is true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And part of it too, what brought it up for me was that Bob Saget recently passed away.
Right.
And he played this really super innocent person on TV on Full House and then also on America's Funniest Videos. But he actually the dog just tried to attack Michael. But he actually told one of the filthiest aristocrat jokes. Yeah. And I watched it the other day, just kind of remembering Bob Saget, watched it. And there were some parts that had me like in hysterics because they're just so wrong. It's just so wrong. Yeah. And I thought I would like to pay tribute to him, but then also to the idea of pushing those boundaries getting super uncomfortable.
Yeah. And when you said, let's call it the Aristocrats, then it was like the night before last. And I thought like, I've never actually seen that movie. And then I thought like, oh my God, what we should do on the show is improvise the joke itself. And so then after like clearing it with you, I put it out there into the world of, Facebook and Bash and, social media. If you have any suggestions during the process of the improvising of the joke, please comment in, like message us. I'm a technotard, but you can do it through the link somehow.
Yeah, we'll get it. We'll get it somehow. Michael will get it for us, and then he's magical.
Yeah, he's magic. But then, like once we start going, there are some classic historical themes that you're supposed to hit. Like watching the movie, I made this list here. It was like, well, don't forget to include incest, shit, semen, vomit, fucking, sucking, anal, blood. And that it always starts with, there's the talent scout or the, whatever.
Talent agent.
Talent agent. And then mom, dad, a kid or two, usually a dog, sometimes a grandma and a baby. So those are going to be the marks we're going to try to hit. Yeah. And the idea and the goal, which is why we're drinking, is that you're supposed to be as gross and offensive as possible.
So really, I mean, if you're afraid of losing some esteem for us, or if you don't like any of the things she just listed, or I mean, you don't have to like incest or vomit and stuff like, but if
Right.
it offends you, please just go ahead and, skip over the next 40 minutes or so, and maybe
Yeah.
just say hi to us at the end or something like
Yeah.
that. Like, we don't want to offend anyone. We want to make this fun. We want this to be funny and happy and ridiculous. Wow, yeah, let's get uncomfortable. Yes, that's right, Chris. We're going to get uncomfortable with you. So, yeah, you might, this might actually shrink your boner, Chris.
Probably. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you're a fucking raging psychopath with a lot of really disgusting fetishes, this is going to be like the biggest boner shrinker ever.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll discover a few. Maybe you'll discover some uncomfortable things about yourself
Yeah.
during this.
And
Yes.
maybe
with your
we'll
boner
wind up.
meter.
Can you imagine us drunk, crying because we're so disgusted with ourselves as we tell this joke?
Yeah.
I'm open to it. I'm open to whatever happens.
Me too. And which brings up another reason again. You were like, I'm stopping for hard seltzers. I got a drink in this one.
I seriously got a 12-pack.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Bye-bye 6-pack. We've got a 12-pack.
Yeah.
So it's like part of the fear, it's part of the fear that a lot of people have about, doing podcasts or going public with anything is the sort of social epidemic of cancel culture and virtue signaling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's an interesting thing to touch upon
Mm-hmm.
because it's strange how, as I contemplate what could be going on, it seems like it's very primitive, the cancel culture and the virtue signaling.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of a very subtle version of, there's elements of, it's very tribal.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of religiosity in it.
Yeah, shunning.
Shunning, but also sort of like in that model of religion, how there's this judgmental God, fearing God's wrath kind of a thing.
Right.
And how we deny and condemn sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
And then religion was used to plant the seed of shame in humanity about their sexuality,
Mm-hmm.
because they can be easily distracted and controlled through shame and sexuality. It's an irrepressible, well, it's not irrepressible, but it's an undeniable element of humans.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you, again, get us like distracted with like not just being able to freely live our lives and have sex and enjoy it, and can control us with this dogmatic rule that it's somehow bad. Like, how even a lot of the witches that were burned, I heard, I mean, of course, there's the theory that there was like LSD in what was it, rye or barley or something like that.
Holy crap, I didn't hear that.
You didn't hear that?
No.
That was one of the theories, is that basically like there's I think it's some kind of a mold that would grow in these like grain silos that they had that caused people to hallucinate. And so there was, of course, like people's fears. You can have a bad trip if you have fears come up. So these people would start like fearing witches and
like redheads.
Exactly.
Ginger snatch,
exactly. Yeah. So they would so there was a lot of fear around adultery. There was a lot of fear around sexuality. So like these attractive redheads and people that were kind of like self-empowered, were into their what's now called like paganism and things like that, which just used to be like, the original, I can't say it was the OG religion, but people just like
one of them.
Yeah, having a religion that's based in like kind of like early non-science based earth science, herbs and milk and goats and all that natural stuff that now we're like embracing again.
Seasonally based and all that. Yeah. Based on nature. Yep.
I've heard some historical element where they were talking about there was a lot of persecution against these women for these women that were possibly hallucinating, thinking that these witches were after their men.
Oh, criminy.
It was their sexuality. It was there was a lot that was based around seduction and sexuality.
Okay.
So anyway, I digress. Oh shit.
So how that relates back to kind of the whole shunning, cancel culture sort of thing is
Thank you. That was it. Fractal thinking.
Yeah. Welcome to ADHD.
Oh, I had like 3 hours of sleep last night.
Oh,
so
you
it's
did?
my
Oh,
superpower
good
today. Like
Lord. You do
drooling
have a
on my tits will
superpower.
be part of
my
what's happening.
God.
Yeah.
So I think what's important, and I think the number one tool that we can use to, to ensure that we're truly thinking for ourselves, and that we're, not coming at this from a dogmatic point of view, is when, and I'm going to super simplify this, hate me for it later, whatever.
I'll hate you now.
Hate me right now. Hate me.
Yeah.
No, but the kind of the simplest method to make sure that you're not just doing kind of this dogmatic thinking is to go, yes, this offends me, and this is why it offends me in particular, instead of going, what you said is wrong. Those are two totally different things, because wrong suggests, implies that there is this rule book that exists out there,
Right.
and that we all agree to this rule book.
Right.
Whereas this offends me because it blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
That's totally different. And I'm so saying this comedian offended me and therefore I'm not going to watch them anymore. That actually isn't really cancel culture. It's kind of when you go out of your way to tell other people not to do it because they did something wrong, instead of saying, they offended me, here's how they offended me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
which is something I wish
want to draw that distinction.
everyone would do, but a lot of people get off on. I do think it's kind of religion based. Like, when we see that hierarchical model of God being wrathful and judgmental, then whether you're religious or not, we were born into a culture that has an amalgamation between church and state. And so there's a lot of, religious influence in our thinking, our collective consciousness, our narrative, all of that. And so, I think that people, it's like, God, I wish I had looked up that quote by one of the presidents. Who was it? Roosevelt or someone like that. It was in a Brene Brown book. It was like, he was basically finding a graceful way of saying, ignore the critics, because unless you're there, with you in the limelight, with your blood, sweat, and tears, putting yourself out there, your opinion doesn't mean anything to me. It's so easy for the critic to be like hiding in the shadows and just like whacking off with their own vehement, like judgmentalness, but never really putting themselves out there. And there are a lot of people that do that now, especially online, where they're just so self-indulgent and, incomprehensibly like, unconscious about how unconstructive and just violently judgmental their opinions are, and they're getting off on it because it replicates that model that of the that's good.
I think you found it. Theodore Roosevelt. Whoops.
It is not the critic who counts, but the man who points out how the strong man stumbles. All right, actually, you read it. I've had 3 hours of sleep.
All right. It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there is no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms, the great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly.
Daring greatly. That's
it.
Yeah, that's it.
So I guess this is us daring, maybe not greatly, but I'd say moderately risky.
Daring grossly.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, it's like, that's one of the things that one of the reasons people end up sort of retracting in fear and not expressing themselves and taking chances, is that they're so afraid of cancel culture, because it affects one of our most primitive fears, which is being ostracized from the clan of humanity.
Right.
Because deep down, since the beginning of time, none of us could survive without each other. We need the entire tribe. So the worst threat to a person is actually being ostracized from the clan. You'd be better off being thrown into a volcano, because at least you're going to die like that.
Yeah.
You ostracized from the clan and you're, sent off into the jungle or wherever. It's going to be a slow, terrifying death. And so I think that
Absolutely,
we're
yeah.
playing on each other's fears in this way with this cancel culture virtue signaling. And it's a
Yeah.
really disturbing thing that
Mhm.
is happening now, where people now are fearing so much cancel culture and virtue signaling that they are, they're limiting their own self-expression now,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
especially in the world of comedy. Like there's
Yeah.
so many comedians that have been taken down and are being taken down. And the feeling, I have is that essentially, like you said a minute ago, if you don't like a certain person's comedy,
Yeah.
don't fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
just don't watch it. Do you have to try to destroy their lives? And
Yeah.
especially when it's like, if you think about the growth of a person, the evolution of a person, we've all had our moments of being, less evolved. We're
Yeah.
hopefully just becoming more evolved. So if you imagine a video recorder being on you all the time, I think it was Jim Jeffries that talked about how when old videotapes of comedy bits that he's done are thrown back in his face, he's like, he said he's Australian, and he said,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and I was fine then, but you fuckers keep moving the line. Like the line
Yeah.
of what's socially acceptable keeps moving.
Yep.
And yet we will dig up old shit, about people
Yeah.
and, just hold them by the hair and be like, you fucked up, apologize,
Yeah.
repent.
Yeah.
Repent. And that's what it's reflective of, is like
Right.
grovel for your life,
Right. Right. Exactly.
which is the religion thing.
Yeah. We're back at that again. And
And
yeah.
mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, dude. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, that's why we're drinking.
Should we start the joke?
Yeah. On
All
that
right.
note, now that we're all fucking heavy.
All right. So we're going to start the quote unquote joke.
Okay.
All right. So the important things to remember.
Wait. Yeah.
Yeah. What?
Before you actually start the joke, I wanted to say too, I was, in case you're wondering, what the fuck is going on? Just like we will be wondering what the fuck is going on. So we're going to try and include those themes.
Yeah.
And this will be an exercise for a while. Then I thought,
yeah.
like, after I organized a comedy class for 5 years. I didn't teach it, but I organized it.
You organized the shit out of it.
My beloved teacher, Marilyn Devine, she passed away, probably about a year ago. Yeah. So in her honor, now she would always tell me, like in our improv class, she would be like, you trying to influence me to not go for the low-hanging fruit, she called it.
Tonight we are, though.
Yeah, I know. So I'm
Tonight
here to
those
say,
balls
I'm
are
sorry,
ours.
Marilyn. She was like, after one of our classes, like, actually, I was still on stage doing something, and I said something really gross and involved, like I was playing a sheep that was like, I hope that the farmer doesn't sodomize us again tonight. And Marilyn slaps her forehead, and she was like, Teresa, honey, you don't always have to make it icky. Like that. And I was like, but I do, Marilyn, I do. You don't understand.
This joke is custom made for you.
Yes.
Okay, but anyway.
Yeah, so I thought, like, using some of the improv exercises, sometimes we would it would be like in a round, we would make a story word by word.
Yeah.
That was a little maddening. So I thought maybe what we could do is make a story like 2 sentences at a time. And then the other thing we could do,
can we stretch that sometimes? Like, if you need to add,
we're going to do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
But the other thing I was thinking is, like, just to exercise ourselves. Let's see. Would I use a stopwatch or a timer? That, like, we could try the 30 seconds for a while, see how that goes. Like, I take 30 seconds, you take 30 seconds.
Whoa, Teresa.
And then I take a minute. Sorry about that, queef. And then you take 30 seconds. 1 minute, 1 minute, maybe even 5 minutes, 5 minutes. I really want there to be some audience suggestions coming into this. I know,
write us something disgusting, please.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. We have so many gross friends.
We have so
many gross friends. Yeah, but audience.
We love our gross friends.
Yeah, audience participation would be so fucking rad.
Okay.
Michael participation would be so rad.
Yeah, Michael.
You've got a sick sense of humor. I know who you are.
Tell us disgusting things.
Yes.
Whisper them in our ear.
Disgusting things. You can message in with just sex terms that you want to hear us, like, go to.
We'll work it in.
Scenarios, people, things, So, okay, now I think I've said all the disclaimers, the
so-
disclaimers. So go ahead, Char, lead us in.
A guy walks into a talent agent's office and he says, "Have I got a show for you?" And the agent says, "Show me what you got." And the man cues to the door. He gestures toward the door. And one by one, his family begins to enter the room. First, the wife, and she says, "Ta-da!" And then the brother, "Ta-da!" Then the sister, "Ta-da!" And then the grandma, "Ta-da!" And then the dog. The wife is holding a bowling ball bag.
Ow.
She turns to the husband. They slowly start to undress each other.
Oh, go on.
The brother and sister start to undress each other very sensually, looking each other in the eye, gazing button by button as the song plays in the background. Grandma undresses herself while the dog licks its balls. The mom unzips the bowling ball bag very slowly, and she pulls out the baby, holding it like a bowling ball by the asshole.
Oh, baby, like. The asshole of the baby is so tight, she can hold the baby up by one finger. It's so amazing how tight the baby's asshole is. The song's still going. Da, 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 da. And grandma starts strip teasing and she starts pulling off her adult diaper. That's the tape on the other side. The diaper falls away and the diaper falls off and her big distended uterus just falls out and unrolls like a slip and slide. And she takes the baby like a bowling ball and she tosses it down the distended uterus slip and slide. And as it's going down that, a turd that was in a diaper, it goes down the distended slip and slide too. The baby lands at the end crying. The turd goes down the slip and slide, lands in the baby's mouth. And the baby is like, just, what do you call that when you shit in a woman's mouth? Hot Carl? I forget now. Hot Carling the turd, you know? But the baby starts getting into it. But then, like, so the mom comes up and starts making out with the baby.
Oh my God.
It's a baby girl. And then they're reenacting like two girls, one diaper.
Oh.
You know, the baby starts eating the turd and then throws up in the mom's mouth. And then the mom takes the poopy into her mouth and throws back up into the daughter's mouth. And then they're all making out with this grandma turd vomit sputum shit. And then you go.
Then the dad, he gets on all fours. And mom, knowing exactly what to do, she gets on all fours right next to him.
Oh.
Then Granny, right next to her. Then the two kids get on top. They start creating a naked human pyramid. The mom, the dad, the grandma, the kids. And then they take the naked baby on top. And the baby, being a baby, has diarrhea all over. So it looks like a chocolate fountain.
I love
Poop
it.
pouring down their faces.
Oh.
Then the daughter can't control herself. She starts puking. But she aims it right at her dad's head because, you know, dad, he's the one who deserves it. Whatever.
He does.
And then the brother starts puking right at the dad's head. And then the wife and the grandma, they're all puking at dad's head and the puke is splashing off his head. And he's like, it looks like a mane. And so he goes, "Rah, I'm the puke lion."
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Now to you.
And then as he's the puke lion and he's roaring and scream vomiting at the same time. Roar, roar, rainbows of vomit. Like a pre-digested Lucky Charms rainbow coming out, you know, just like chewed corn and strawberries and all that shit starts going everywhere. And everyone's just singing in the puke rain, singing in the puke rain, just singing in the puke rain. And then the whole family gets into this synchronized tap dance, singing in the puke rain, except for grandma. She gets on a unicycle, but instead of a seat on the unicycle, it's the grandfather's mummified, dismembered penis. And so she's on the, what would you call that? A mummy dick cycle? Something like that. King fuck or something like that. And she's riding the unicycle, up in front, just going for it. But then she slips and falls and she breaks a fucking hip.
Oh, shit.
Well, Dad's really into that. So he gets on her and he breaks the other fucking hip. He likes the sound of that, like popcorn, when he's fucking her and he can hear bones cracking like a bag of popcorn. So into it. And the meat starts just separating from her bones like over-fried chicken in a bucket of KFC. But she's so finger-licking good that he can't stop fucking her. And that really gets to like the rest of the family. And they're like, I want to get in on that too. So the mom comes over and she starts riding her mom's face like a circus bear on a unicycle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. And then the son starts like ass fucking the dad. And then the daughter, she starts ass fucking the little brother with the dog. She hasn't got a dick. It's not a lot she could do. So she grabs his little rocket and sticks it in his socket, and they're going and going, and then cut to Shar.
Oh, God.
And then what happens, Shar?
Oh my God. And then the dad notices the mom has this boil on her back.
Oh, boy.
And he's like, everybody, stop your fucking. You two, go back there. Go back there and spit roast your sister. So the baby and the grandma and the brother all start spit roasting the sister.
Spit roasting like double penetration?
Well, it's different than double penetration. It's basically the sister's bent over and the brother's got a dick in her mouth and granny's got grandpa's dick in her butt.
Ah, with the unicycle?
Yeah, with the unicycle.
Yeah.
She's got the whole unicycle and she's thrusting.
And she's pedaling it in her yoni. The tire is in a yoni.
Exactly.
And there's smoke coming off of it. And there's grandma clitty litter flinging everywhere from the tire and her labes going as she's hand cranking it. Okay, sorry, I had to interject.
So then the dad lays the mom down and he pulls out a scalpel from the same bowling ball bag that was in with the baby because that's really safe for babies. And so he starts lancing the boil. And then he sees these legs start to pop out. And it's a tarantula in this boil.
Are you sure it's the crab legs?
It's not crab legs. It's a tarantula.
Okay.
And so he pulls it out and he looks at the legs and he spreads the teeny tiny legs and he sees the teeny tiny balls and he starts licking the teeny tiny balls.
Oh my God, this is getting weird.
And then he takes a blow dart gun, and he blows the mom's asshole full of air. And then he puts
like
the
a
tarantula.
Zeppelin.
Yes. Then he puts the tarantula into the blowgun and then blows the tarantula into the mom's butthole like a tarantula ass habit trail.
I bet that tickles.
It does. Back to you.
Yeah, and so it's tickling and wiggling inside of her, and then she starts to sing that fucking nursery rhyme. Well, what's nursery rhyme? You've got kids. There was an old lady who
coochied a fly.
I don't know why she coochied a fly. Perhaps she'll die.
She coochied a spider that put up inside her, that wriggled and chiggled and jiggled inside her.
Perhaps she'll die. Or maybe she'll really get off on it. And she did. She really got off on it. So the spider was wiggling and tiggling inside of her. And then she was like, honey, to her husband, you've got a prostate. You should try this too. So then she space docked the spider. She put her butthole up against his butthole and space docked the spider into his butthole, to which he happily went, the little spider with his little nutsack, and wiggled and tickled and jiggled inside of the daddy's butthole. And daddy liked it. Oh, he thought it tickled him so good. It was so much better than one in the stink that mommy used to do. That spider really knew how to work a prostate. So the little spider went in there and he started working the prostate just like some bagpipes. And he was singing the wiggle inside. Like, and so as the spider's bagpiping his prostate, the dad's really getting off on it, and he starts to have some anal leakage. And so then he's like standing there, and he's actually still on grandma's distended uterus, slip and slide. And he starts falling, but he keeps running forward and back. This is a callback.
Oh.
And he's slipping and sliding all over the place. Oh my God. And then he falls onto the dog. And the dog, who has irritable bowel syndrome, sprays diarrhea out of his tight butthole into everybody's eyes. Yeah, they fell. When they fell into a circle. It just sprayed everyone. Even the talent agent, everybody just had diarrhea in their eyes. And the dog had eaten a lot of corn and nuts. And so it's very painful. So they were all like, trying to get the diarrhea. And then when they did that, all of a sudden, grandma's glass eye fell out. And then that rolled down her slip and slide uterus and into the baby's butt. And then everyone was like, no, those are expensive. We got to get that back. And then, this is the cruel moment. Sharp, go.
So then, with corn in their eyes, the mom pulls out a hairdryer and she starts pointing it at everybody's eyes, making popcorn covered in shit pop off of their eyeballs.
Poopcorn. She was making poopcorn
popping off. And once they all had the poopcorn off their eyes, they decided to retrieve the glass eye from baby's belly.
How'd they do it?
That's right.
How'd
well,
they do
let
it?
me tell you, I'm totally making this shit up as we go. Okay. So they take another thing from this big bowling ball bag. I mean, this bowling ball bag is really big because it had a baby, it had a scalpel, and now it has a jar of peanut butter in it.
Couldn't they just felch it out?
They could felch it out, but let me tell you.
Okay.
They take the peanut butter and they start shoving it into the baby's butthole.
Oh.
And of course, Fido gets really excited about this.
Dogs love peanut butter.
Yeah. So Fido starts licking at that booty hole. And pretty soon he's, got his tongue like 2-3 inches up in there.
Did the baby like it?
The baby really liked it. Because the baby's like, ooh, and then the baby decides that it needs a haircut while the dog is felching the baby. Because it takes a while for a glass eye to come out. Yeah. So the baby pulls a cheese grater out of the bowling ball bag and starts grating the top of its head to give itself a haircut. God. Yeah. And it does so with a very blank look on its face. Like,
oh my God.
Because it really enjoys this feeling.
And then the mom was like, oh my God, baby head cheese. Well, that would go great on my tuna taco.
With peanut butter.
With peanut butter.
Yeah.
It's sort of a modern fusion thing. So they take the baby head cheese and mom puts it on her tuna taco. And she's like, she happened to have a dinner bell, a triangle, ding, 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 ding. Okay, my beloved family, time to eat.
Yeah.
And then the whole family goes charging in. They're all so hungry and hungry for food, and they slip down grandma's slip and slide uterus, and your mom's standing at the top of it with her tuna taco, and they all crack skulls at the end trying to get the tuna crash, and brains go everywhere, and then they're just these tuna taco eating zombies. More vagina. Yeah, so
and on the way running there, the brother accidentally stepped on the baby's stomach, popping out the eyeball, which shoots directly from baby's anus right into grandma's eye socket.
Oh my God.
Still covered in shit.
That sounds very unsanitary.
Yes. So now they're all zombies. Grandma has a shit-covered eye.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
But that special shit-covered eye helps her to see who's a zombie and who's not a zombie, which is very fortunate because there's a zombie apocalypse coming.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Except they're all zombies.
Yeah, they're all zombies.
Except for the baby, maybe. Maybe the baby survived.
Tuna taco eating zombies.
Oh, yeah.
So she calls all of her friends from the old folks' home, and they haven't had their pussies eaten in about 30 years.
Oh,
so they go down. I wonder what time it is. It's 6 o'clock, probably. I'm like, and 3 hours later, we're still going. The show's over. So
Everyone's crying except for us.
So everyone from the old folks' home, they go down with their adult diapers all happy and getting ready to be eaten out by a lovely family. And they go and, the family, the tuna taco eating family, they're ravenous. And then all of a sudden, here comes the Golden Gilps, and they come on in and they rip their diapers off, and 30 pounds of clitty litter falls out.
Oh.
And there they are with their fupas and under fupa cheese, and no one gives a shit. The fucking tuna taco zombies go in and they're like, more taco. And then they just like push over all the old ladies and just start like motorboating their fucking labes. What would you call that? Tuna boating?
Tuna boating.
Tuna boating. They're just going down in there.
Schoonering, maybe. Because
Schoonering. Schooner tuning.
Schooner. Yes, schoonering.
Schooner tuning. Schoonering. Yeah. And then they spoon her afterwards. But yeah, the baby's so into it. And she happens to be going down on this one old like Catholic lady that had 18 children. And the baby's so into it that all of a sudden the baby ends up inside.
She's so into it that she's into it.
Yeah. And then she goes inter utero. And once she's in the old lady's universe, oh my God. She discovers it's a portal to another universe. Shar.
And in this universe,
when it gets difficult, I hand it to you. And I don't know where I'm going to go. Shar.
Shar. And in this universe, everyone's genitalia is on their forehead. And so baby suddenly sees brother and sister there and is like, so beautiful. Look at brother's unicorn horn with fluffy little ball ears below it. So
like he's always teabagging himself with his unicorn
he's always
horn.
Always teabagging himself. He can barely see past his own balls because brother has really big balls. Like they're like old man penis balls.
Ow, old man balls.
And then and sister has a big gash in her forehead.
Oh, I love it.
With a big puffy labe around the sides.
Yeah,
yes.
like a Star Trek character.
Yes,
like
exactly. Exactly.
Like a Klingon
and
clinging
then
to Uranus.
Just like that, baby comes back into reality. What? Back in the old lady's uterus and slides back out. Pops her head up over old lady's fupa.
Which would have been her 19th child, by the way. She already had 18.
You're right.
Oh
Her 19th.
God.
So she pops her head back over and she rests her arms on just to watch her brother and sister engaged in a beautiful moment where sister says, brother, you look like you might need a glaucoma test. And brother says, you're right, sister. You know, glaucoma tests are my favorite. And she bends over and he nestles his chin up in her vajayjay and she toots a singular toot right into his eyeball. And she says, your eye pressure is normal. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Back to you.
And then she tests the other eye, kneeling down gently as to simultaneously hold all the poop in her rectum and just let out a toot because they've all had enough like corn-eyed shenanigans for the day. And so then in the next eye, and she's like, oh no, this eye is not normal at all. Yes, this eye has got some serious glaucoma, which helps you to see tuna-seeking zombies as well, which they're all tuna-seeking zombies at this point.
But they're self-aware tuna-seeking zombies.
They're self-aware. They're very highly sensitive and conscious tuna-seeking. They all asked for consent before they went down on the old ladies with the fupa cheese that they, rolled back the fupa.
They had
and
a full
went down
safer
and
sex
cheese down.
talk.
Let's
just say that.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
exactly. But, then at that point, it was like, their bellies were full, their asses were full, but little brother hadn't had enough. And so there the dad was, just like going down on some old lady. He couldn't get enough of her tuna taco, and he decides to go and filch all of the dog semen that was in the dad's ass. Remember how the daughter Well,
Yeah.
actually, I think she
Yeah.
did that to the brother, but we'll just pretend she did that to the dad.
She
for
did
the
it to both
story's
of
sake.
them.
She did it to
She-
both of
she
them.
did it
That
to all
dog
of them.
had huge balls,
Yeah.
huge pendulous
So
balls.
much cum.
So much
He
cum.
was a super loader. A
Oh
cum
my
super
God.
loader. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Everybody's butthole was full of
When
dog
that
cum.
dog came inside the dad, it made a blowhole. It shut his wad so hard it made like a blowhole out the top of his head, and was like a little geyser of semen that just
Yeah.
kept spewing like Mount Saint Santorum is what it was.
Mount Saint Centaur. I like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. We'll go with that.
I'm gonna go skiing there.
That's improv for you, right? Mount Saint Santorum. And so he started felching out the Mount Saint Santorum lava out of his booty hole, which is a lot like Mount
Yeah.
St. Helens, because it was really mostly mud when you think
It
about it.
really was.
It was quite the mudslide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he was felching out the mudslide, and then he was just going around and giving everyone 2 girls 1 diaper kisses to share the chocolate fountain joy of all that he was getting from his father's booty hole. And back to Shar.
And And then here's the part I borrowed directly from Bob Saget, because this is my favorite part.
Bob Saget.
And the dad has a hemorrhoid. So he takes that same scalpel from that same bowling ball bag and he cuts the hemorrhoid off of his own asshole.
Ow.
And he puts it on the end of his nose like a little clown nose.
Ow. Oh, Dad. What a clown.
So with his
indeed.
blowhole and with his clown nose, he goes up to one of the old ladies and he starts teabagging her. And while he's teabagging her, he puts his big old butthole on her mouth and she felches him too. And he's playing with her titties because he's facing that direction. He's playing with her titties and he's going,
Yeah.
pew, 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 like asteroids, like pew, 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 pew,
Yeah.
pew, pew, pew,
As
pew.
he dropped
And
asteroids in her mouth.
as he's dropping little asteroids in her mouth.
Oh, I'm psychic.
Pew, 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 pew.
How did I
And
know?
then every time he says pew, she squirts a little bit. And it hits mom in the face. And then it hits grandma in the
God.
face. And then it hits the baby in the face.
Oh.
And she's squirting all over everyone.
Yeah.
It's like so wet and slippery. And so they all start falling down. And everyone who's not dead already, they're dying too.
Yeah.
All the old
and in
ladies.
the background, the daughter is singing, "Everybody squirts sometimes. Everybody squirts." Go on. Okay. So they're all dying. Sometimes. So everyone's dying.
Everyone's dying.
Oh, no.
Everyone's dying because they're falling
Okay.
and they're breaking their hips and they're
and
they're cracking their heads and they're all dying during this whole thing.
And then chicken's falling off the bone.
Oh
like,
God,
just
yeah,
sliding
chicken's
up.
falling, and even the tarantula is dying at this
Oh,
point.
no, not the
Everybody, yes,
tarantula.
everybody's
Oh,
dying.
no.
They're all just dying. It's all very dramatic, but at the same time somehow comical.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
because it's pratfalls. They're all just falling. You know,
Yeah.
they're all falling and dying, and they're like trying to get up, and they're like slipping forward, slipping backwards,
And the shit and the
doing
vomit
the
and
running
the semen.
man and the squirt and the everything.
Yeah.
It's the whole place is just a mess. And they're just like slipping forward, backward, running man. They're doing the
Yeah.
Cabbage Patch. They're
Oh.
doing the sprinkler.
Wow. They're so coordinated.
To you.
Ah, damn it. So they're all damn it. So they're all doing the Cabbage Patch and everything and dancing and singing. And then all of them just simultaneously explode. And blood and guts and semen and shit and piss goes everywhere. And it splatters all over the talent director. What do you call that guy?
The talent agent.
Talent agent. God damn it. And so he gasps as he takes a little in his throat, starts choking. The only survivor was the dad, as misogynistic stories go. And
Perfect.
yeah. And then the talent agent is just like, wow, that's just like the show I saw last week. But in lieu of it all, I'm just curious, what do you call your act? What do you call yourselves? And the dad says,
I was going to call it the incest, blood, shit, semen, vomit, fucking, sucking, anal program. But instead, I decided to call it
The Aristocrats! What
Oh boy, that was hard.
That was the
really
horror and horrifying.
That was horrifying, and yet also I was laughing really hard at yours.
Me too. I'm fisting you now.
We are fisting each other.
Let's fist bump, like
Fist bump.
dirty incest bro style. Yeah.
Oh my God,
that was good for me. I don't even know if any like suggestions ever even came into the show. No pun intended.
I don't know either.
Yeah,
it's okay if they did. We didn't notice, and I think we took a risk there, and I think we took several risks, and probably wait. I'm gonna look at the YouTube and see if anyone's still watching.
Yeah, have we been kicked out permanently? That's the question.
This is how we die. This is how we die on YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. We have to die somehow. You're gonna die sometime. You might as well go out in a blaze of flaming shit, piss, incest, blood, semen, vomit, fucking sucking, sodomizing glory.
Might as well, seriously.
Yeah. Put that on my tombstone when I die. I'm sure I'm going to die before you. Sorry. So you're going to have to do that. Come on.
You eat like an angel.
Like a goddamn angel. That's right. But drink like a fucking mermaid whore. Yeah. Oh,
awesome improv. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
We are truly sick and twisted individuals.
Yes, we are. We are. So was that good for you, Char?
We
stress sweating?
Smell bad. Oh my God, especially that one. Dude, that's a bad one.
Me and one of my bandmates, we noticed that like we totally have a stress armpit.
My left armpit's my stress armpit.
Yeah, I think mine is too. It smells like a cat box.
Yeah, I think I have some goat and some pencil lead and garlic in my left armpit.
Mine's pure cat box.
Ooh, that's a really stressed out armpit.
This one gets kind of like burnt onions and beans, like an overcooked burrito.
That was kind of pretty much like our whole diet in the 90s.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Thanks, machismo mouse.
Yeah. And oh my God, yeah. What was that one restaurant you worked at where they were like, go like this? Gingy.
Oh, I worked at the falafel bar.
Yeah.
Garbanzo's falafel bar.
Garbanzo's falafel bar.
Yeah.
And they all, the guy loved to tease. I think he had a crush on you. And
he wanted to hate fuck me.
He wanted to hate
all the time I worked there. You know, like, yeah.
But he would try and get you to like put your hand out like a chicken foot, right?
That's because if everyone hasn't noticed, on the show, I have the most bizarrely overaged hands since like I was 5. I remember
really have always had. Yeah.
They look like sort of like I've even loved going to parties, and when I've met people in the past, people have said like, what do you do for a living? And I'm like, I'm a hand model. And they're like, oh yeah. And then they're like, oh, let me see your hands. And then I show them this like, just warped, twisted like hobbit hand with bitten nails and everything. And they're like, oh
God.
And then I'm like, well, I didn't say what for. It's for like Lord of the Rings. That's just a fun icebreaker for me. But yeah, so Terry, I won't say his last name so we don't get sued, but in 7th grade, I noticed that I had like abnormally, strangely overaged hands from a young age. Like I remember in kindergarten, someone saying to me, like a best friend was holding my hands and she said, Teresa, your hands are getting dry and wrinkly. You should put on lotion. And I remembered thinking like, I'm fucking 5.
Yeah.
How is that possible? But yeah, Terry in 7th grade, he looks at my hands and he goes like, ew, you have weird hands. You have monkey witch hands. Monkey witch hands.
Oh my God.
And I have a friend who was traumatized by another like a junior high school asshole boy. And she said that he said, oh my God, your hands are so weird looking. You've got like E.T. Wiener fingers.
E.T. Wiener fingers.
So Bubs is her, our nicknames for each other is E.T. Wiener fingers and monkey witch hands to this day. That's how we roll.
Oh my God.
Yeah. But I like to think it's because I have an old soul.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, you're lucky that the rest of you turned out super hot. So there you go.
Thanks for noticing, sis. No, just kidding.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
You're not blind.
I have eyes.
Yeah,
and
you
ears.
have eyes and thighs. Oh my God, we did it. It's 5:59. We're still alive.
We're still
we'll see
alive.
if we get shot on the way to our cars.
Yeah.
Probably won't, because we didn't bring up America or Jesus or anything that's,
Yeah, we didn't.
typically a catalyst for getting shot.
That's true.
Thank
Not
God.
today, anyway.
Not today, Satan.
Although the things we
today.
did to that baby,
Oh,
poor baby.
the thing, he liked it. Oh, she liked it. It was
She
a
liked
girl.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, she liked it. We got consent and she liked it. That's the most important thing.
That's right.
Everyone was consenting in this hypothetical story, which
That's right.
we should never get in trouble for because it's hypothetical.
Yes. It was in the spirit of the Aristocrats joke.
Exactly. And I think we did a damn good job.
Yeah.
We were disgusting and we involved incest, blood, shit, semen, vomit, fucking, sucking, anal.
Yeah.
Those.
We got it all.
Yep.
Because felching is definitely a lot of sucking.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
imagine it
that's
takes
hard.
a lot. So someone has a real big butthole.
Yeah. Yeah. And words are words.
Words are words.
Until you get to intent and impact. But until then, it's words are words.
It's how you take them.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Wink, wink,
And
wink.
what's behind, what's given.
What's behind, what's good. Well, and okay, we always forget to say this spiel earlier. Like, if you like the show, it costs money, so please give her money through Patreon. Was that an orgy at Patreon? And if you like and subscribe
And
on
punching my boobs.
YouTube, maybe one day we'll make some goddamn money through AdSense, and that'd be nice because it's like it's taking money out of your pocket.
Yes, indeed.
I don't make enough money to take money out of my pocket, but
you're like, go ahead and try.
I
Try
know
this
exactly.
Pocket. Try that pocket. A little to the left, a little more to the left.
Yeah, if it was up to me, we'd still be Zoom meeting our podcasts and stuff. But thank God for Michael and Talkcast. Wait, Talkcast PDX.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And if anyone's ever interested too in having your own podcast, this is the fucking place to do it. This place is rad. There's sexy nerds like Michael that are going to take care of you. He's more sexy than nerd, but he's just really like technologically
Especially
endowed.
with a new haircut.
Yeah,
Definitely more sexy than nerd.
I dig it.
Yeah.
Keep getting sexier. Yeah. But anyway, I guess we should wrap it up.
Yeah. We're going to wrap it up.
Yeah, we're going to wrap it up.
You can always see us or message us at wasanorgy@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Remember to like us, subscribe, and stuff and things.
And if you ever get creative and like want to make suggestions for shows or guests or something like that, I think that'd be real fun. We can make this like a co-creative platform. So message us for any reason. We like it.
Yeah, we like it. Dick
We're
pics
attention
are fun too,
whores.
or yoni pics, whatever you want.
Yoni pigs?
Yoni pics.
Oh, pigs.
Pussy pics.
Yoni pigs.
Yoni pigs.
Yeah.
Oh, we should have worked that into the Aristocrats.
Oh, shit, we should
I
have.
meant to do that. I
Pig
fully meant to
fucking
do that.
Schweinstücke.
Yeah, Schweinstücke.
Next time. Okay. We'll just maybe we'll make an annual like what's the joke? The Aristocrats will annually reinvent annually reinvent the Aristocrats. Yes, I love it.
Okay.
What a great show. It's my favorite by far. Thanks for tuning into our tuna.
Yeah, thanks for the tuna, everybody. See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday. Are you calling me a cunt? Are you calling me a cunt?
See you next Tuesday.
Eagle beaver, baby.